Ooh, we're live. That took a long time. Hey everyone, Thibert here, Hack Check Studios live. How are you? I got some fun stuff to talk about. It's just a little story about me and Lou Ferrigno, the big green hulking monster that used to rock the TV waves way back when, and wormed his way into everybody's heart. And he's a mainstay at almost all Comic Cons these days. So I believe that's where he makes all his money. So I'm gonna wait for some sign of life in the chat because it's the only way I have true validation that this is all working. And then I'm going to start telling you a tale, an epic tale about a green monster named Lou Ferrigno. When I say he's a monster, he was a monster to me. He was a mean, mean monster machine. All right, I got sign of life. So we have Kevin. What's up, Kevin? All right, and we got Peter. Hello. We have Gus, Tyler Bush. So hello, aloha. How are you? And we have Lee Duck. What's up, Lee Duck? How are you guys? Ooh, you guys are all chiming in. This is good. This makes me feel good. Say it ain't so, not Lou. Sorry to say, it is Lou. Perhaps one of the most beloved TV superhero actors of all time. And I will tell a horrible tale about this man and how he wronged me. He wronged me bad. And once you wrong the T-Bear, I never forget. I may forgive, but I never forget. I don't know. It's not that deep. I'm making it sound like it's going to be like absolutely horrific. But you know what? That's good. That's good salesmanship, right? Yeah, he punched me out in an alley. It was over a Hulk comic book. I'm not alive, so I can't help you. Oh, Andrew. Andrew's The Walking Dead. Doing good. Oh, cool. Peter's doing good. I like that. The day the day Lou Ferrigno got to meet RT Barrett. Yes, yes. I had met him prior, but I've never really had as much interaction with him as I did with this epic tale I'm about to tell. Yeah, but you know what? Just because he's a deaf mute, let's not be overly sympathetic, comics legend. Let's not automatically take his side in this tale because it's epic. Okay, so when was this? This was like 2012, something like that. So Wizard World Comic Cons were big. They were ruling the world. They were all over the place. So I had signed a deal with Wizard World to do some shows, like a contract to do shows with them. So the cool thing is they were making prints. So we had like black and white prints that I think if you had the VIP package, you could get these prints. And I think they had some by Humberto and Neil Adams and some other people. So you got those for free, and then you can come up and get them signed. And they flew me out, and then I have a per diem, and they met my per diem, and I got, I got paid pretty well just for doing the show. And then of course you make money doing drawings and selling your wares. So everything was good. And the first, was it the, no, yeah, it was the night I flew in. I got a phone call from Wizard World, and he asked me if I could go on Good Day Austin, I think was the TV show. And it's one of those morning shows. I think most cities have these morning shows. And they're kind of just like, wake up, have breakfast, have some coffee, get ready to go to work kind of shows. And so Wizard had worked it out with Good Day Austin. This con was obviously in Austin, which I love. Keep Austin weird. Yo. I've even thought about moving there because Weird is my middle name. It's not really my middle name, but it should have been. My parents should have known better. It should have been Arthur Weird Thibert instead of Arthur Edward Thibert. But that is a tale for another time. So, oh, look at the camera. I got some color. we're all focused. I got some soft lighting over here. You guys, over the weekend, man, I've been working it. I've been working it, trying to get the quality up for this this stream, this channel. So anyway, I'm patting myself on the back there. So yeah, so they called me, and then I say, yeah, I would gladly go on the show to help promote. Because I think it was the morning. It was Saturday. Was it a 3-day show? It was either Friday morning or Saturday morning. Because usually those morning shows don't go on the weekend. So that was weird. So it must have been Friday. I don't remember now. So anyways, it was the morning, and there was the convention was later that day. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I got to go off on a tangent here. The weird Eddie Thibert. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure I probably should have said that out loud, because now it will replace the old fart jokes and the fart jokes. So now it'll be the old weird fart jokes. So yeah, so I said I'm going to do it, and they said it's going to be like 6 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And not that I'm a rock star, but 6 o'clock. When my daughter was younger, it wasn't a problem, but she was already older at this point, so I was sleeping in usually till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So 6 in the morning was pretty crazy for me. So they said, this is the cool part. They said there's going to be a limo out in front of your hotel to pick you up. So I wake up, I go downstairs, and I kind of thought that maybe I would draw on the show. I wasn't for sure, but you know, an artist always wants to be prepared. So I have my sketch pad, and I have some basic drawing tools. And so I get in the limo, and Lou Ferrigno's already there. He's already in the car. And so I'm sitting side by side with Lou, the great Lou Ferrigno, who I worship since I was a kid. You know, that Hulk show was amazing. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And so he starts talking to me. He knows who I am. He knows all this stuff, and we're having a great time. He's asking about my family, like really personal stuff, not just show stuff or superficial. I mean, we're getting into like friendship stuff. And so I'm asking about, you know, his family. They're all grown. He's got a place in Malibu. I think he was working as was he working as a sheriff, or he was doing some other stuff. It basically just filled me in on his life after the TV show and what he's doing now. So we had a great conversation. And so we're driving into the city where the movie studio or the TV studio is. And so we get there. And so the limo guy kind of knew how to get us in. So there's like this buzzer, and then they beep you in or something, and then you get to go in. So there was a little bit of a to-do to get in. So this is going to come back later in the story, so I need to set it up. So we go in, and everything's awesome. You know, I'm having a great time. I just had a great conversation with Lou Ferrigno. I'm in the back of a limo and getting the rock star treatment. And so we're there, and then welcomed with open arms. You know, the what do they call them? The showrunner comes up. This is what we're going to do. There's a segment right now that they're doing. I guess they have different people that do the show. So I have some photos here, and I'll share them with you guys. Boom, boom, boom. Hopefully you can see this. So this is the movie or the TV studio. So this is Fox 7 News, and you know, Austin. And so this is what the studio looked like. I think this was one part of the studio. I don't think we were in this section. So they have like different little like soundstage areas. So I think this was the main where they do the news part. So where we were, let me see if I can find my tabs. Oh, this is the show that was going on when we got there. So this is that same set, all active and everything like that. So yeah, so I'm getting excited. I'm like, yeah, this is cool, man. This is the real deal. And so then let me see. Oh, okay. So I'm kind of jumping the gun, but I thought I had a scene or a picture of us on the set. Well, you can see this is a different set. This is kind of like there's a brick wall in the back, there's a couch, and it's kind of like a comfortable living room type of situation. So I went in and I'm sitting on the couch. Okay, so I wish I could remember her name. So she's the host. She's on the far left of the couch. Lou is in the middle, and I'm on the end. So Lou is kind of already being Lou. He's a little, he's kind of turned on the charm, but he's a little standoffish at times. So, but for some reason, she didn't really want to talk to him. At the very beginning, she was talking more to me. And then I said, if you want, I can draw on the show while you're talking to Lou or whatever. And I brought some artwork too. I brought some pages and stuff, like my portfolio, so they could kind of see what art pages and things would look like. So I had my whole little dog and pony set up, just in case. I didn't know what they were going to throw at me, but just in case. So I get on, and so she, Lou's the closest to her, so she kind of goes through Lou's history. He worked, as an actor, Mr. Universe or whatever, and he's most known for the Hulk TV series. And so he's doing this, and so he just kind of goes through his resume and then says he's going to be at the show at the Wizard World. And so then she turns to me, she says, Art, so, what's, your deal? And so I say, I'm an artist, Marvel, DC Comics. And then she says, so what are you doing over there? And I said, I'm drawing. And then I said, I'm drawing the Hulk. And then Lou, I don't know. I mean, seeing how it all played out, and from what I hear, he gets his feelings hurt really, really easy. So then he just turns to me, but he looked at me very stern, like there's only one Hulk. And he said, you're looking at him. And so I'm like, yeah. Okay. I'm thinking to myself, the Hulk existed before you played him on TV. But whatever, if you want to feel like you have ownership to the Hulk, then so be it. So then she starts talking to me, and most of the rest of the show was focused on me and comic books and the show and stuff like that. So really, Lou just had that little introduction moment, and then the rest of the show was talking to me. So I was really flattered. I thought it was cool. And so this is a picture. I gave her the artwork, and so she said they were going to frame it up and put it in the background of the set there, because I guess they have little mementos from different guests and stuff. So I was really flattered. So I think I have a better image of it. Oh wait, I jumped the gun. Where is the tab? It's right here. Yeah, so here's a closer image of it. So yeah, I just kind of worked that up real quick while we were talking, and I gave it to her. Like I said, I wish I could remember her name, and she's just super sweet, super nice. And so then I went, so the show's over. We just had like a quick little beat, we plugged Wizard World, and we did our due diligence. And so then after, I was like, can I get a picture with everybody? And usually, like when I was younger, I did all these cool things, but I never took pictures. I don't have any documentation of a lot of these cool things that I've done. So I told myself, no matter how uncool it is, I'm going to do it. These cooler moments, these big moments in my life, I'm going to get photographs. And so I asked her, I was like, can we take a picture? And so then she's like, sure. And so Lou is a bit of a, like, he's really controlling with images of himself. I've known this for years, that he doesn't, like, because he charges for photos with himself. And so then she said, like, Lou, get in here. And so he goes over and he says, I'm only going to take one, right? So we ham it up for the camera, and we take this image. And so after that, the floodgates were open. So everybody, the crew and everything, wanted a picture with us as well. So they came over and they're taking pictures with the three of us, and they're all getting in there. And so it's just like this fun, like, hey, everybody that put this segment together is now in the photograph. I don't have any proof of that because they all took them with their own cameras. This was done with my camera. So then Lou's getting angry. You could see it, like he's getting angry, and he's kind of pulling back from the situation, like he just doesn't want to be here. And so then we take all our pictures. And so as soon as the last picture was taken, I think even before the last picture, he was already walking off, because I think they would have taken more pictures with us. But he starts walking off. So I'm thinking, okay, party's over. Lou has, declared that this is it. And so I had to go back because I was pulling artwork out of my portfolio to show to the camera and things like that. So I had to kind of pack my artwork back and put it in my bag, and then get all my drawing equipment back and everything. So I turned away because I saw Lou walking away. So then I turned and I packed up my stuff, and then I was polite because I don't even know if he said goodbye. I think he just walked away. And so then I said goodbye to everybody, and then I turned, and Lou was gone. He wasn't in the studio. So I just thought everything was fine, that the car would be outside, and everything was, because the driver said, I'll be back here. I don't think he ever left. He said, I'll just wait. So he was out there where he dropped us off at. So I walk out, and there's no Lou, and there's no car. There's no Lou, there's no car. And so I'm like, what the hell? It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. It's freezing cold, and I'm just out in a place that I have no idea where I'm at. I've never been here. I don't know what's going on. And furthermore, I wasn't really paying attention on how the limo driver got us into the studio. I do believe now, thinking about it, that he called also. He called before. So then I'm thinking, no, this actually also, I'm recalling this because it was some time ago. He picked us up in a different place than he dropped us off. So then I got to remember where he dropped us off, because that's where, like, I guess the backstage area or whatever of this facility was. And so, Lou's got his bearings. This is like where, this is his terrain. I don't know anything about movie studios or TV, or any of this stuff. So then I'm just like, I don't have my cell phone. I don't have anything. Like, I'm just on the street. Like, I don't know how to get back. I didn't have my phone. And also, this studio was very off-putting, meaning like there were no windows. It was just like this brick building, and there was like one door, and there's a buzzer and stuff. There's like really nobody's attention you could get. There's nothing you can do. So then I had to remember where we were dropped off. So I walked around the block, and I found the buzzer, and they rung the buzzer. Okay, nobody. I rung the buzzer because they must get like people ringing this buzzer all the time. And so I rang the buzzer again, and I kind of kept ringing it. And then I was talking, because there's a little, speaker box. And so I'm like, hey, this is Thibert. I was just on your show, and I got locked out of the studio, and my ride's gone. And so it took a while, but then finally the guard said, he rang me in. He's like, me, so I could open the door and come in. And so he said, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. And so then I had to go over, and I found the person that was running the show, because they have people coming and going. They have guests on the show. This thing's moving in real time. Like, nobody has the time to help me. They're all just trying to do their job and get this show going. So even he didn't have much time to spend with me, because he's got to make sure that everything is copacetic. So he's just like, stay here, I'll go check. And so he found the showrunner, and the showrunner was like, still has his headset on and all this stuff. And so he ran over real quick, because this is also a fairly big facility. So I can't see where they're at, and they can't see me. So he runs over, he vouches for me and says, yeah, this guy was just on the show, blah, 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 help him out. So then the guard is like, sure, no problem. So fortunately enough, I did have the Wizard show promoter's card in my wallet. So then I was like, can we use your phone? Can I use your phone to call this person? So the guard said, sure. So I called him. Didn't get through to him right away. So I had to leave a voicemail because he was probably asleep. And so then I called again, left another voicemail message, and then he finally called me back. So I think I was in that studio for about an hour before I got any kind of verification that there was going to be a pickup for me. And so then I told this guy the story. I said that Lou, kind of ditched me. He went out. He knew that car was for both of us. He went out and he must have told that driver to go as soon as he got in the car. And so I said, I don't know why he did, but he did. And so then the driver, it takes time to get from wherever he's at. Like, he did his job. He's probably even on another job, another gig already. And so the same driver came back, picked me up. So it's probably like an hour and a half time of me just like in this strange place and just relying on strangers' kindness to help get me back to the con. So the driver shows up. I get in the car. It's the same driver that dropped us off. And so this guy doesn't want to throw Lou under the bus. And so he's like, oh, I'm very, very sorry. It was my fault. I should have waited, blah, blah, blah. And I said to him, it wasn't your fault. I said, you knew what you were supposed to do because you told me that you were going to be here to bring both of us to the con after the show. And I said, I know what happened. I said, Lou got in the car and told you to drive. And then you drove. And he said, yeah, that's what he did. And I said, and you knew you left me, right? He said, yes. He's like, yes. And I said, so don't bullshit me. I said, this is Lou's fault. A little bit your fault because you didn't do your job. You should have just waited another couple minutes because I was only a few minutes behind Lou. But you drove off anyways. He said, yeah, but he told me that he was running late and that he had to get to the show and blah, blah, blah. So he gave me a bit of a sob story. So I said, okay, so it's Lou's fault. So basically there was an understanding between us that Lou Ferrigno basically left me there in a strange town without a ride in freezing cold weather. So that was really nice. That was really nice of you, Lou. So, you're a stand-up guy. There he is. Look at him. Look at him smiling. His alligator smile. Look at that. What a punk. What a... Dun, dun, dun. What a jerk. So, yeah, in a nutshell, that's my Lou Ferrigno story. So let me stop sharing and I'll come back to you guys. So yeah, that's my Lou Ferrigno story. And it's funny because, Facebook has these, 4 years ago, this moment happened. So that's what reminded me of this story. So I posted around and, put that image back up. And then I was remembering the story. And now I have a YouTube channel. I can tell you guys stories. So I just thought it would be a fun story to tell you guys of how Lou left me high and dry. He ditched me. I was ditched by Lou Ferrigno. The Hulk. Apparently, he's the Hulk. There's only one Hulk. There's no other Hulk. So, yeah, Lou Ferrigno, I don't care. He's a jerk. He's a jerk. And also, he treats people very, very badly at cons. So if you come up with a camera, he charges you for that. And I've heard that he chases off picture pirates. So if you just snap a photo and it's not authorized by him, he'll get grumpy and disgruntled, get you kicked out of the show, You know, I understand to a certain extent that you have to protect your business, but not at that cost, man. Oh yeah, I way outshined him. That guy is not a class act, and I think it all started from the photos. I think that lady, for whatever reason, didn't really like him or find him that interesting, and so it mainly was about me and the comic books. So maybe also she just understood that it's, a comic convention. So she wanted comic book stories versus Hollywood stories. Um, Even though that the Wizard shows are like pop culture shows, but really the main, at least at that point, were comic books. So, I don't know what was going on in her mind, but yeah, she kind of did shine him on. And it was funny because Lou's in between us, so we're both kind of leaning over Lou to talk to each other because he's a big guy. So we could see each other. We're kind of like, so yes, so this happened. Yes, that happened. So I don't know, man. I had a great time up to that point, and but now looking at it, I get a little bit of mileage out of an interesting story. So sometimes bad shit happens, but you get a fun story out of it. It wasn't fun at the time. It sucked, man. I was scared because I didn't know how I was gonna get back. And I had no idea if I was, because it didn't look like a good area of town. So it was very industrial and there was graffiti and it just wasn't the best looking area. So Justin says he's about to turn into the Julk. Jerk and Hulk combined. You wouldn't like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I didn't like him. He turned on me, man. He got angry. I was like that reporter guy. I got Lou pissed. Yeah, that guy he's either got a really fragile ego or a short fuse or whatever, but I have nothing nice to say about him. I knew, from doing the con circuit that he was already a jerk. Treats people really badly. So I guess I shouldn't feel like I was singled out. I was just par for the course. Just another, person for Lou to step on, just personally, I don't hold anything against those guys, trying to make a living, and making a few bucks off of memory lane photos. But come on, man, you're not exactly relevant, and you need to understand that and still be kind to people. Lou remembers that time when what is that? Litany comic, what is that? Oh, the tiny comic artist stole his mojo with a presenter. Yeah. Who you calling tiny? Who you? I am big where it counts, in the heart, right here. Maybe Lou had low blood sugar. I don't know, man. He should have brought a Snickers bar. He should have done something. Yeah, Lou is a jerk. So, yeah, I never called a cab because I didn't have a freaking phone. I left my phone at the hotel room. So I didn't have my phone. So, yeah, I could have. And also, I shouldn't have had to. Yeah. So there, Justin. This is true. He is a big man. He's still a big man. And you know what? He sucked me in. I thought when we were driving over there, we were buddies. And then he betrayed me. He stabbed me in the back. He left me stranded. I was bleeding out, man. I was bleeding out. No. I'm not even going to put that up. Arthur Brown. Okay, so I got some short jokes going on. Censor out, lose with a black brush. No, I'm glad I got that photo, and I'm glad it made him mad. Now looking back, so I guess I drew first blood. I just wanted a photo. I just want a photo with Lou and the host. Is that so wrong? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up in the chat here, and I'm kind of dropping the ball. So you can see Khan crying. What did you do? Remember that you used to take unauthorized pictures. Yeah. Apparently, I'm the jerk. I'll remember that if I see him. I'll take. Oh! I see. I'll remember that if I see him. I'll take an unauthorized picture of him and tell this is for art, you jerk. Right on, brother. I have the story got a little bit better. I got a little bit of vindication. I was sometimes you find people that you just connect with at these shows, so you become like friends for the weekend. And after that, I stayed friends with Humberto Ramos. I had met him prior, and actually Mike Miller was there at the show too. His group ended up hanging out. I think it was Billy Tucci went, so they went to dinner, but I went with Jimmy Chung and Humberto and Francisco Herrera, I think. And so we had a good time. And then Wizard had a party later that night. And I told Francisco and Humberto my story. And so we had a great time just hanging out. We went out to dinner and stuff. Yeah, it was definitely pre-Uber. Yeah, definitely. And I didn't see any cabs in the area. I don't even know where the hell we were. But anyway, so we were at this party, and I had my camera. I mean, people were still actually using cameras. I don't even know how common camera phones were at the time, but I had my camera with me. And so Humberto was like, wouldn't it be funny if we just went up to Lou? Because he was at the party too. If we went up to Lou and started taking pictures with him. And then Francisco, we're all a little bit of like, we're a little scampy. We're a little scampy. We got a little demon in us. And so we went like, yeah. And so I think throughout the evening, we kept taking, no, it couldn't have been my camera because I'd have pictures of this. So maybe they had a camera because I would have documentation of this. But anyway, at the party, at various times, we would go take pictures of ourselves with him in a picture pirate kind of thing, where we would just kind of stand next to him and then somebody would jump in front and take a picture. I should ask Humberto if he has any of those pictures. It was either Francisco or Humberto that had the camera. So that was a lot of fun. So we kind of got him back later that night. So Art, what is your method for rattler killing? You are a legend. Lou couldn't handle it. Oh, dude, I just use a shovel. I've used a car. I've run over them with cars before. I had one in the driveway, and I got in my car and just backed it over the rattlesnake. Oh, yeah, because Pixel goes to a lot of shows. Yeah, Lou is a jerk at cons. I wish you were on. You could tell your Lou stories. Look at what you did. Yes, I caused the whole situation was my fault. If only I could have kept my camera in my pocket. So lesson learned, you guys. If you're around Lou, make sure you pay his blood money for photographs. Otherwise, he'll get pissed at you and he'll leave you stranded. He'll leave you high and dry in a strange. I was a stranger in a strange land. I should write a novel called Stranger in a Strange Land. Snicks and Tasties. Tasty. I recently bought a book. Let me see. What does P Money say? I recently bought Archie Bear's book. I don't think I've even watched anything with Lou in it for years. Yeah, I mean, he did a little cameo in that Hulk movie, right? The Ed Norton movie. Ooh, he was a security guard. Huh, how apropos. Yeah. I wish Oh, wait. I hope this is what I think it is. LOL. He actively scans the crowds looking for a flash or a camera. Yeah, he does. Exactly. So I have validation here. And will immediately hulk out and yell at you. Yes, that is his MO. Exactly. So, so yes, I have. Thank you, Pixel, for backing me on this. So yeah, if any of you guys have done any of these conventions in the last 10 years, he's pretty legendary. And like I said, I kind of understand it to a certain extent that you're trying to, your main way of making money is selling photographs of yourself, but to what extent? Like, how far do you take it? Lou, I'm coming for you. Yeah, you know what? We should, what do they call that? Where you bum rush somebody, like mob him at a con with a bunch of cameras. Like we'll get all of our buddies and we'll go to a show and we'll just bum rush him with cameras. And we'll all make sure we have those old school flashes, you know, those those little box things that are on the top that'll burn your retinas out. And we'll just start taking photos with Lou Ferrigno. Is my sound good, you guys? I just realized I didn't set up my usual sound. So I think I'm being recorded through the computer. So do I sound good? Chime in, because if so, then this is a valuable experiment for me. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping this up too, but please let me know because I'm flying blind here. Disney needs to partner with Lou to train their ride photo guys that protect the screens after the ride. Yeah, that'd be a good job for them. Like somebody said, I'm coming for you. Okay, you should get a paint bucket and prank him by dropping green paint. Ooh. I think that might be considered assault and battery. So it would be fun though. Yeah, if somebody wasn't afraid of going to jail, that would be pretty funny. Like prank him. Maybe we can get Ashton Kutcher to come and prank him old school style, drop some paint on him and watch him truly hulk out. He keeps himself in good shape though. He still looked pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's still some fans. Wait until he goes nuts and ask him, "Who are you? Why would I want a picture of you?" Yeah. I don't think the photos are cheap either. Like I think they have like these sections, right? I think Wizard and they have like these backdrops, and then you go and you pay, I don't know, $50, $70, $100 to get a photo with these guys. It's kind of bizarre. I do believe we're in a world now that monetizes everything. Not that I truly remember this, but you know, my parents used to say there was a time when you'd pull up at a gas station and you'd have an attendant come out and he'd wash your windows and pump your gas for you. You know, so over the years, these little nice things have gone away. And I do remember just old school Comic Cons where artists, we just drew for people and we did them absolutely free. We would try to get through as many people as we could, and we would do sketches, and then we would just give them away for free, signatures for free, everything. And somewhere along the line, a dollar amounts got assigned to these little, you know, freebies. And I'm not making a judgment call. I'm not saying one's good or bad, but it is a change of pace. But it does seem like, you know, there was a day where actors were just flattered. You know, so if you snapped a picture with them, it was a good thing. You know, it wasn't like now you owe me $50, you know, that kind of thing. So now you pay for the privilege of taking a photograph with an actor. That's why I don't charge for signatures at cons as well. There are some people that do, and a lot of people are really polite now at shows. Well, they'll ask how much are the signatures and stuff like that. And I say they're free. I mean, that's one of the main reasons I'm here. However, if people have multiples of one book, like if it's more than 2 books that you want me to sign, I know that you're probably going to resell these books, that you're working either for somebody, or you have a comic shop, or that you have some kind of, internet store where you're selling signed editions. And the thing is, I do get paid, to do signed books for companies and stuff like that. So, there is a little bit of a conflict there if I'm mass signing these things and you're retailing them, because then that is hurting my business. So at that point, I still don't charge, and I don't force the issue, but I say, if you buy something, even if it's a $20 print, then we're even. And most of the time, that's enough to keep them honest. So I did have this guy, he had stacks and stacks of books. And so, I was thinking, oh no, he's just going to buy a print and then that's going to be it. And this guy's going to retail all these books, because just 2 of those, or just 1 of those books alone would make him his money back. So he was really cool, and I think he gave me like $100. He just gave me $100. I gave him the print, and that was cool. So most of the time, if you're cool with people, they're cool back to you. You know what I mean? Just give them a moment to be honest. Give them a moment to, you know what I mean, to be kind back, instead of assuming the worst and then treating them like they're trying to rip you off from the very beginning, which is, I think that's probably the biggest problem I have with people like Lou. They expect the worst from people before the people even, get to show their true colors. I'm not saying there's not jerks out there, but I don't operate that way. Because I mean, I think it takes the fun out of things too. Like if you just have 2 or 3 books, and I'm like, that'll be $20 or whatever, like that takes the fun out of the experience. They paid to get in the show. They should get something out of it. So, and I get a per diem from the show, so I'm being paid to be there. So to charge, for people, to sign the books, I think it's double dipping. I do charge for sketches now, or drawings, but that's just kind of the industry norm. And the way I get around that is the drawings I used to do for free, they look like freebies. You know what I mean? They're not labored on at all. So especially when you kind of are going through the line, it almost becomes like a signature. So you figure out how to shorthand like a Wolverine profile, or in the day there was cable. So I learned how to kind of do some of these things quickly, so I could give them away free and still get people through the line. But nowadays, I book up early in the morning, and then I just draw through the day. And sometimes I can get through my commission lists before the end of the day, and I'll ask people, if I can't get to them in the midday, I ask them to come back, maybe 2 or 3 hours before the show ends, to see if I can get them in. Or if it's a 2-day show, I'll take their orders, and then I'll go back to the room and finish them up, and then I'll have them for Sunday morning. But Sunday I can't work that way, because I have to get them into their hands, because there's no night to finish the drawings. So that's kind of how I operate at shows nowadays. So it's just a difference of the way the times have changed. But I don't really like gouging people. So we have FluxCore. Oh, it just skipped. Let me put this up. You do have to be very careful around people that are taking steroids. I had to do it for a year, and the rage is real and uncontrollable. Yeah, I've been around, like, some of my friends were bodybuilders and stuff, so I've been around people, and it does make you, in a nice way, irritable. and somewhat unpredictable. Yeah. So Art, I don't think I could. I honestly don't think I could. I think he'd kill me, even the age he is now. Wait a minute. How am I the bully in this situation? I did nothing. I'm the victim. I was victimized by Lou Ferrigno. Okay. So I'm going to start wrapping this up, but I want to get through the chat here. I'm almost caught up. I just wanted one comic book side by Humberto Ramos on Spider-Man run. He wanted charge $20. I said no thanks. I didn't know Humberto was charging now for his signature. I don't think he did at that show, so maybe it's a newer thing. But I know Humberto does very, very well at those shows. And the cool thing is his name Joseph, and Joseph kind of runs the table for Humberto, and sometimes Francisco will work the table. He'll be at the con as well, and so Joseph or Joe will work the table for them. So they can interact with people as much as they want, but they can kind of focus on the drawing, because that's always the hard part, is to talk with people and to draw. It's kind of tough. So Joe's a very, very cool guy. I think Humberto and Francisco are some of my nearest and dearest friends. I love those guys, and it's kind of cool because I get along with those guys so well that Joseph said, you should come on tour with us, and we'll set you up, and it'll be the three of us at a table, and so we'll all be jamming, drawing, and then Joe will basically handle the business aspects of it, so we can just keep our head down and draw through the show. So I thought that was very, very generous. But I even told Humberto and Francisco were there, and I go, dude, I cannot. If I was between you guys drawing, I would feel so overwhelmed, because those guys not only can do great con drawings, but they can do them relatively fast. I think both of them do full color commissions right there at the show, and they do a lot. Like, they do a lot of drawing, and one of the reasons they can do that is because of Joe, but another is that they just have it down. Maybe if I did more shows, I could work faster. But I kind of like to hang out and talk to people as well. So I don't go there just to make a bunch of money. I go there kind of to hang out and have fun. So Art let Lou, okay. Slick Rick says, Art let Lou walk away because he refused to punch down. Lou was lucky. Yeah, you're damn right Lou was lucky. No, he would have killed me. What do you mean by weak? Like I heard that too, but I don't know if you mean like weak, their character is weak, or that they're physically weak, because I think bodybuilders aren't building for strength, they're building for definition. So I believe that they use lighter weights and do more reps. I think that's how you get to that state. And like those guys that are like heavy lifters, they're more like, they don't have these cut bodies and stuff. They're more just like power, and just sheer weight. So if you look at those guys in the Olympics, they're not cut like Lou or like Arnold was. So if that's what you mean, then yeah. But he was also weak in character. Okay. You talking to me? You're talking to me? I don't care, man. Lou's a jerk. It's a jerk, and I will never, ever say anything other. I won't defend him, and I feel like I'm removed enough from the whole situation. And if he does come at me, yeah, I can run pretty damn fast. I'll jab him with my nib. Go in the bag of coins of the lowest denomination and ask for his signature and offer that. And you know what? If he gets tired of counting all the change, and he gives you an insult, you can whack him with the bag of change, because that can double as a weapon. If you've ever been smacked by a bag of coins, it hurts. It can hurt. Okay, Pixel is enlightening us on some of these guys. J. Scott Campbell charges if you want more than one signature. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I have two, but I don't charge. I just ask to buy something, so I don't dictate like it's going to cost you 20 bucks a signature or whatever. But to clarify, with me, it's one of each book. So if you have one and they're all different titles or different versions of that book, then I'll keep signing. But where I don't like is if there's multiples of the same book. So he also has certified stickers for people that want an extra badge of authenticity for the signature. I was fine with just the signature. Yeah, so at least, you know, he's doing the dog and pony. You know, he's still there to try to make money, but he's trying to be, you know, fair as well. So what is this?
I'm going to Ralph's.
You're going to Ralph's. We're going to get some new food in the house. New food in the house. So, hey, Art, hope everything is good. Hope everything's good. Is it cool to ask how Taylor is? Yes, it's cool to ask. And you did not miss anything. I mean, there's no problem. People just grow in different directions, and she really wanted to stay and keep working. And to be honest, we may be working on projects together in the future. However, she wanted to move out of her home, her family home. And so she wanted to move into a different area, which made it very hard for her to commute into this job. So she moved a little bit of distance away. California is a big state, so it's very expensive to live where I do and where she did. So I believe she moved out to the high desert where it's a little bit more reasonable and less gougy to live. So it was more just a housing proximity thing than it was any animosity or falling out. She's amazingly talented, and she's a great contributor, and I got along with her very, very well. So they want to tour, come, look better. Yeah, there can be. I don't like it when there's a handler in between the customer and the artist. Big disconnect there. I want to meet and talk to the artist, not the handler. I understand why artists use a handler, but at the same time, I do believe it gets in between the experience. And that's why if I don't get a per diem, I just won't do the show. So the way I look at it is the per diem pays me for my time and effort. I'm not getting rich off of it, but in lieu of working in the studio and doing stuff that pays me, it's a little bit of a lateral move, right? So I don't lose any money. And then if I sell a piece of artwork or I do some drawings or, you know, whatever random, you know, prints or whatever I sell, that's just extra cash. So then I have used a handler. I had a contract with a company, and they would set up conventions for me, and they would handle, you know, the transactions and stuff. However, they were very good. So if there was a question, they'd say, "Hey, Art," and I'm not the kind of, because I'm right there. It's weird when you're like, you don't talk, and they're talking to this person or saying, "Hey, could Art do whatever?" And I'm right there. So the thing is, they do handle. I'm not going to name names, but they were really cool. There was two different guys, so it depended on where and what shows I was at. But I think they did stuff for like the Power Rangers, and they would book these jobs and they would work with those guys. So they were really good. So they would take the money, and the cool thing is they both were really well versed on what I do and the books I've worked on and the value of the original artwork. So the plus for me was that they could work with them with the original artwork. So I could still talk to them if they had questions, and I could still kind of, do my drawings. But they would kind of handle the business part of it, the money transactions, things like that. And then if there were any easy questions, they could answer. And then the artwork, they were a big help. So they got a percentage and things like that. So they would have to hustle as well. So I didn't mind that because I didn't think there was a disconnect. But I know what you're talking about, and I have been in situations like that where I wanted to talk to somebody, and there's a wall between you and the person because of the handler. And it also depends on the handler and the artist. When I did it, there was no disconnect, and it was a big help. Sometimes I do these shows with my daughter, and she works kind of when it's slow for her. She'll work as my handler as well, and vice versa. Rouse must be SoCal. Yeah, we live in Southern California. Zebulon. Okay, so what's the Walter Flanagan story? Hey, if you guys want the Walter Flanagan story, I'll do a show and talk about the Walter Flanagan story because I think I can get a quick show out of that. Living in the desert is not reasonable in any way. I don't know. It's cheaper. The housing is cheaper. There's not a lot of jobs out there, so I'm not sure what she's going to do there. But we have a tentative agreement to do Black and White Volume 2 together, and I would love that if we could bring that together. And also, here we go. This is news. I have about 2/3 of an art book compiled. So I think I'm going to do an Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff 2 volume 2. And so she did a great job with the art direction on that book. I would kind of give her ideas and then she'd put it together. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to ask her if she wants to do it anyway, but she won't have to come in the studio. I just send her files and stuff. That's the good part about the internet now. And I think we have a good enough work relationship that I can shorthand things and she'll understand, especially since she did the first book, and we'll do it stylistically similar to the book, the first issue, so they can kind of work together. And I may reissue the first volume, but may possibly with a new cover. So yeah, I miss her too, man. And she is for the most part doing good. I talked to her the other day, and I think she's a bit of a nomad. That's what she said. So I don't think she has a stable living conditions yet. So I don't think she has a permanent place of residence, like an apartment or something like that. But, I mean, we all have to go our own way and do what we think is right for ourselves. And I totally understand that. They do more before the dawn of time than most people do all day. Chrono Mechanics. Yeah, there's a link. Thank you so much, Arthur Brown. You are the best. And I have been neglecting my duties here by putting stuff up as well. Sometimes I forget I'm a businessman. But I think what I try to do is entertain you guys without always hitting you over the head with the fact that I have an Indiegogo. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but perhaps I should do it more. So here's a link as well. And I believe there's a link in the description. So when I sign off here, if you missed it in the chat here, then you can go there. And Oodles of Two, yeah. It's been a year or so, maybe 2 years since the first one came out. So I've done a lot of commissions and different work since. So I think I probably have about 2/3 of some really good artwork, 2/3 of a book that I can fill up with some pretty good artwork. And if there's anybody in the chat right now or that will listen to this later, I do have some commissions, and I'm going to get to them ASAP. I just need to get Narwhal some color notes, and I need to get a layout. I'm working on it right now. I could show it to you. It's kind of a spoiler alert, but I'm working with render on. So I don't know. It's a little blown out, but it's kind of like timelines are merged together. Let me turn this off for a minute. Yeah, it's a little better. So this is kind of like an army platoon, and then there's a knight, a jousting knight on a horse, and then there's a cowboy behind him, and then there's, for some reason, there's a bikini-clad lady sunning herself on a rock with the Chrono Mechanics cooling station. So this is kind of the idea here, is that parts of the big machine show up when they need to be repaired. So they kind of manifest themselves. And this is the cooling station or the cooling plant showing itself. So this is the work site that the Chrono Mechanics have to get to. So it's going to have some angry colors in it, and it's going to be overheating. So I got to make sure that when, ooh, the lighting looks kind of cool. When I finish that up and send him the idea, that I can make sure that he knows that it's overheating. So it kind of has to look angry. So that's my little Chrono Mechanics plug. Oh, and thank you guys. I should say this. You know what? I'm going to share just for a minute, because, man, you guys were on fire over the weekend. So let me do this real quick. I'm not going to go over the whole Chrono Mechanics pitch here. Hopefully you can see the page here. So this is the Chrono Mechanics Indiegogo page, and look at this: $9,186, 120 backers. We generated well over maybe $1,200 over the weekend. So thank you guys so much, so very much. And I believe a lot of it's Kevin's doing, but we have been moving original artwork as well. So usually those are the tougher sell, but it looks like there's some fans of Chrono Mechanics artwork. So I know Kevin was a big, I think he got the cover and some other stuff. So thank you, because it always makes me feel good when original artwork can find a home. So yeah, so this was over the weekend. Let's keep going strong. I mean, we're just a little over, what would that be, $800, $814, is that right? To get to five figures or 5 digits, meaning $10,000. So once we get to $10,000, you guys, or get up to $10,000, I am not going to rest, but I will start seeing that we have the potential to reach the ultimate goal, which is 50 plus. So I believe we're going into the 3rd week here. So this is pretty good. And if we can keep going and have good weekends like we just had, I believe we'll be in a good place. So having said that, if you guys know anybody who likes, independent projects like this, fun, cool action adventure that has humor. Yeah, this is Kevin. I just mentioned you, Kevin, right on cue, as if I summoned you from the great beyond. You appear. If you say Kevin 3 times, he appears on your chat in your live stream. So yeah, if we can keep going, that would be incredible. was it yesterday? I worked a little bit on the variant cover by Carlo Barbieri, and I may do, it depends, because I got to get this layout to render, and I think I need to finish up my notes with Narwhal. But if I can find time after that, I will do another live stream, because I think I have backgrounds left on that. So I'll do the backgrounds and any small details. So it'd be cool to do that live and hang out with you guys and do a drawing stream with you. So yes, spread the word, brothers, spread the words. I'll get you live on Indicron this week. I'm really sorry for the delay. Hey man, don't worry about it. This is a longer campaign, and the way I look at it is if I went on everybody's show at one time and all this, I could possibly burn out all the goodwill and all my potential to get the word out. So spacing things out is not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm not sure, I got to look at my schedule just for actual, just to know for sure what I'm doing. But I think this week I'm going on, oh, let me see. I hope you guys can't see this stuff, but I think it's Peter Gilmore and what is her name? Is it Mindy? Mandy Summers. How could I forget that name? So I don't know what their show is called, but it's a YouTube program. So Peter Gilmore was nice enough to ask me, and I think Mindy opened the door, and then Peter and I are now talking about a good day. But I think that's this week, and so I believe I'm going on Dan Frega's channel tomorrow, and that'll be a blast. We'll go over old times, I think. But like I said, I gotta go over all my my scheduling to make sure, and then I don't know if Pixel Trader has anything to do with the drawn and quartered. Is it the Ultimate Edition now? You can't call it the Fan Edition. So the Ultimate Edition, I'm not 100% sure. So maybe Pixel or Draken, I think they're connected probably closer with Chester Busby. And I believe it's his channel that hosts. But I think we're going to do chrono characters. I'm not for sure. So when is, oh, okay. So Pixel says that's Thursday night at 7. I think that's the day. I'm going to write this down. I think that's the day that Peter Gilmore wanted me on the show. So Thursday at 7. And that's my time. That's my time. So that works out good. So that'll be fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to, if it is Chrono Mechanics, I'm not sure I'm going to compete with them. So I think I'm going to take myself out of the race. Not that I'm afraid of the competition, but I just think that it'd be more fun. And I'll draw. I think what I'll do is if this thing comes together, I'm already given my plans if it comes together. Okay, I'm getting some. Chester's channel does, but I have nothing to do with it at all. Oh, okay, that's cool. But thanks guys for chiming in. You wouldn't be competing; it's to promote. Oh, yeah, but what I was thinking of doing that might be cooler is I'll draw with those guys a chrono character. But what I'll do is I'll either come over to my channel, or I think Aaron may have done something like this, where if we get a certain amount of people to buy the book, maybe while we're drawing on the show, like the 2 or 3 hours that we're doing the show, if they come in and they back a book, they will qualify for to just get the sketch for free. But I'm not sure, because that seems like it would be eliminating everybody else. But I need to figure out somehow a way to inspire you guys to come in. So maybe just the idea that you could win the drawing would be enough to get some people to come in. Or maybe I could just say if 3 people or 5 people come in and purchase a book, then everybody that has backed the book will be qualified to win the artwork. So maybe that's a better way now that I'm thinking out loud. So let me see. You'd be there to pitch the book and shoot the breeze. Yeah, I just have to make sure that that's what we're doing, because I get information from all kinds of places. Like I get it from the chat, I get it from some of these green rooms and all over the place. So sometimes I'm not sure how much is factual and how much of it is just, information that somebody might have heard and is just kind of parroting it back to me. So I just have to get in. It's just one more thing to do. So, but it'll be fun. And if it is Thursday, regardless whether it's Chrono Mechanics or not, you guys should check it out, because it's a great bunch of people and they seem to have the time of their life drawing. And that's really the name of the game, man. Life is too damn short and there's really no money in comics. So let's stop fighting. I don't know what the hell all that shit's about. If there was real money involved, then let's backstab. But there isn't, so let's have some fun. I remember there was this editor, he's giving me a bunch of crap, and he's making so hard on me, and I'm like, listen, buddy, I've been doing this for a long time. I could do a lot of other things that pay me more money as far as art is concerned. The reason I do comic books is because it's fun and I like the lifestyle. So I'm not getting paid a bunch of money to take your crap. So we could either have fun along the way and you can drop the attitude, or, I could quit and go on to another book. That guy was really crazy militant. Like, oh my gosh, that guy was a jerk. So I eventually did quit. But I did speak my mind to the higher ups at DC Comics. It was DC. And needless to say, he's still there. But I will do my best, if I ever have to go back, not to work with the guy. And I'm not going to name names. Perhaps another stream. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we have Jim Cox. Make it just people on their stream. And there's mutual benefit. Yeah, but what about all the people that back the book, though? So I would be benefiting the people in the stream, which would be cool. But then the people that have backed the book already wouldn't be in on it. Okay, so ping me on Twitter. We can go over on the phone. Yeah, that would be great. I'll have to schedule it. You guys have no idea. I have notes. Half of my board over here are just Post-its with notes and everything. I have, call Mike S. Miller. That was from like 3 days ago. I'm actually on my notes now. I date them, so I know when I wrote them down, so I know how badly I'm screwing up. So, so Brian M. says, I think you might want to try Drawn and Fired on Yellow Flash's channel. Somebody, who was it? I can't remember his name now. This is bad. Was it Andrew Huerta? He said Muerta. He said that possibly they would be doing Chrono as well. So either he's pitching it to the guys, or somebody brought it up. But I'm not sure if I should say anything more, because a lot of this is behind closed doors. So I'm not sure what's happening with that show, and I'm not sure what's happening there. So the only thing I know for sure this week is, well, I don't even know for sure actually, is the Drawn and Quartered Ultimate Edition. So yeah, that's what I heard, man. I think I heard the first part of it. But it's a great bunch of guys, and it would be fun to go on. Yeah. It is Andrew Huerta. There you go. So I apologize. Andrew, if you're listening. So very cool. So I think I'm going to sign out now. Thank you guys for letting me tell my little woeful tale about the jerk that is Lou Ferrigno and how he wronged me. Oh, he so wronged me. So very good, you guys. And I'll see if I can get some of these notes and sketches out to the guys, and then I'll be back doing some drawing for you guys. So yes. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for backing and helping get the word out for Chrono Mechanics. We had a great weekend. I hope we can keep repeating this, and we'll get to the goal. And I believe the line art is 2/3 of the way done. So we are definitely moving along on Chrono. I'm not gonna show you all the pages, but let me take my ruler out. But this is my book, and this is how I bring the story together. So there's 2 books though, so I don't want to mislead, but this is the amount of pages that pretty much have line art. So yeah, we're about 2/3 of the way into it, and I believe Narwhal he's over halfway. If it's a 48-page book, he's over halfway done with the color, and the colors look amazing. He's a very talented boy. So I see Chrono Mechanics, therefore I have to click. So Flux Core, he's hardcore. Chrono Mechanics, they do more before the dawn of time than most people do all day. Thibert, 2 campaigns. Corona, United States. What is? Oh yeah, 9,120 backers, 114%, 8,000 flexible goal. 41 days left. Thank you so much. And what I will do is I will post a link-a-dink right there in the chat. And also, since I'm going to be wrapping this up, either click the link real quick before I end this broadcast, or if you want, it's in the description. The link is in the description. So thanks again, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be back hopefully later today. See ya.